All right, so we're gonna check out this home. It's the only active home in Bryson in Leander. All right, first thing I want to point out, obviously you've got the bars in front of the door. I want to say it's an upgraded door and a Ring doorbell in the front, like that. Oh, sorry, I had to grab this. First things first, let me start down here. I'm gonna raise it up. Oh, look how tall those ceilings are. I'm guessing 12 foot. So it's like space on space on space. Those beautiful windows back there. But before we go too far, I'm going to point over to the left. Let's look at this. So you've got the French doors. I think French doors are a little smaller. But anyway, you've got a beautiful wood floor here. Look at this. Wood floor and a study with an extended area. So it looks like they paid to expand the area just a little bit here. You've got some recessed lights. And then here's the glass door. So I'm going to walk around, back up, and then come out. So the thing about Bryson is it's really, really exciting because it's in Leander. It's kind of along that corridor where you've got the all of these new developments that are showing up. So you have North Line Station, and then you have Leander Springs, which is like the lagoon, where they're building an actual lagoon, a beach with stores and everything around it, as if you were in Miami, except they're putting it right here in Leander. So they're doing 3 like that just in Leander, and they're putting at least 10 all over Austin. It's huge. We have 2 right now, one called the Domain and one called Mueller, that are just exploding. And so people heard about that, and they're like, oh man, if they're doing that in Leander, I want to buy in Leander. And Bryson is right next to where the lagoon is going to be. So let me stop, spin this back around. Okay. So right from the front of the house, you have your garage and you have a coat closet. And over on the left, you have a room, another room, and then a bathroom for them to share. So I'm going to go and take a look. Linen closet right here. Room on the left. It's kind of hard. Let's see if I can expand it. There you go. I expanded it a little bit. Okay. And we're going to go back in here real quick just so you can see the depth of the closet. I'm only going to show this one because all the closets are about the same depth. So I'll take a step back. I'll pull in it here a little bit. There we go. Now the one thing I want to mention about the closet, so I'm going to switch this back. One thing I want to mention, not about the closet, about the room is you have double switches, and you only have a light up here, which leads me to believe that the double switches will mean that this is blocked for a fan, even though it doesn't have one. So if you wanted to add a fan, you can do that with some confidence. So the second room here, they decided to go with a wood look tile, and I'm assuming it's tile because it's got grout, right? Tile, grout. All right, come on over here. Huge windows again, large closet. Okay, look up at the light. I heard you're not supposed to do that. Look up at the light. Okay, now I'm going to look over to the left here. Let's see what we've got. The bathroom with tile and tile that matches the tub. Okay. How do we look? Looks good. All right. And then before we walk out to the next room, there's a thermostat. So this is the thermostat that controls the temperature within the house. So I'm taking a step back. So I'm still walking through this main hallway. Now over to the right, you have, well, first you have this media room. I call it a media room because it's got a carpet right there. But then come over here. This is a casita style space, right? So it's a guest room, perfect for a teenager or for a parent or something to stay, because it has its own private bath. That's huge. People love that stuff right now. So I'm going to go back out and check out this media room. All right. Big windows, kind of, that doesn't make it work for a media room. For me, you'd have to black that out or something. But otherwise, plenty of space. Here we go. Let me expand it just so you can see like the actual size of the room. Love these wide angle cameras, right? Okay. So I'm running back through. Let me fix this. All right, so over to the left, we have the primary bedroom and then the laundry around here. And then we have the kitchen over there to the right and then the dining area. So I'm going to start over here. I'm going to expand it again. Here we go. Laundry area. And the reason why I don't just leave it expanded is because it kind of distorts it, right? So if I look at the wall here, see how it's kind of, it looks like it's a little bowed? Well, that's not fair to you. So let's point out that we've got shelving up above. I'm assuming that it's a gas dryer. And here we go over here. And the reason why I'm assuming that is because there's a gas range in the kitchen. All right. More shelving in the laundry room. Laundry room's tiled. All wet areas should be tiled or have some kind of vinyl plank or something that's waterproof. So tile is waterproof, and that's why they do that. So we're heading into the primary room. Beautiful large windows, transom up top, so you have a lot of natural light coming at you. I'm spinning around to show you that there is another thermostat right here. French doors leading into your primary bath. Over to the left, first you have a little linen closet. Aha, there you are. Then you have vanity 1 to the left, and then vanity 2 to the right. So that way nobody's fighting over who's got what on where. You got your commode right here. Check it out. You have a little toilet room. I don't know. Depending on where you're from, you may or may not have a separate room for your toilet. But I'll tell you, living in Texas, that is the thing to have. You have a garden tub as well, so it's pretty deep. I could probably, if I could hide in here, if I was playing hide and go seek. I don't know why I'm saying playing hide and go seek. There's tile around the tub. That's nice. It matches the tile here. And then you've got your primary closet, and it's a good size. Let me see if I can get some light on. Primary closet. Let's see. See, pretty deep. There's even more room over to the right. Turn that light off. And then look at this shower, okay? You've got a good size shower with a bench. And it's tiled at the bottom, tiled along the sides. And that, somebody paid extra for this. That's important, that little accent tile, or accent, glass tile. And then you also have the shelving. The shelving is nice to have because the more shelving, the less stuff that you have sitting on your bench. Just kind of in the way, silly. Frosted windows. Here's a little tip. If you don't want to buy a frosted window, you can pay $30 and get that stuff off of Amazon and just peel it on. You'd never even know. It takes you no time. All right, what's next? What's next? So that's our primary. We looked at that. Here we go, the kitchen. Boom, the living room and the kitchen. Look at that. So I'm going to do a nice slow pan. Here we go. I like what they did with this space, that they put a little office desk, but you could do a wine fridge, or if you're a brewer, this is the pantry here. You can, put something through the wall and brew if you wanted. I'm just giving examples. So here's the pantry. Pantries in Texas often leave something to be desired, but this one isn't bad. Mine's like half this size, so I can't really complain about this one. The island, it extends out, and there's cabinetry on this side, which is great. So you've got storage over here, you have outlets on either side of the island, and then you have more storage on the other side as well. See, more storage. It's great. Well, this isn't really storage since you have your sinks and your water filter. So check this out. So you have soap dispenser, your gooseneck, your garbage disposal, and your wash basin, and then filtered water, instant filtered water. And that's what that filter under the sink was for. You have your double oven, your double ovens, gas range. So after Snowmageddon a couple weeks ago, everybody was like, oh, but what if we have only solar or only electric? Well, if you have gas, that worked for a lot of people. Refrigerator. Important to know, if you're moving to Texas, oftentimes, you get everything except the refrigerator and the washer and dryer. So make sure you ask yourself or your realtor or whoever, the seller of the house, if they're going to be giving that to you. Because they don't. They don't like to. Another thing that's big in Texas is if you've got gas and you get fumes, you have a vent above, and then you have the ability to vent outside of the house. That's huge. Not every builder does that. So when you find that, that's great. Recessed lighting, that's also nice. It looks like they expanded it. Instead of having just 4, which I see oftentimes, they have 6. And then they have 4 more in the living room. So that's nice as well. Looks like they did a good job with this. There is GFCI. So in a wet area like the kitchen, if you're cooking and you spill water all over the place, then that will, the little fuse thing will pop. and then you just pop it back in when you're ready to use it. But it'll keep your appliances from causing your breaker to go off in the rest of the house. Cool, cool, cool. What else do we have? All right, look at this expansive dining room. I'm gonna keep walking around. I wanna check out the back with a covered patio. There's no fan. There's no fan on the covered patio. That's okay. You can add one. See, there's a little notch right here. So that it's blocked for a fan. It's getting real bright. Let me back up to the other side. Swing around. What is this? Outlets? Yeah, so you've got outlets here for you to put a projector right there if you wanted to. I don't know if you'd put it right there, but if you wanted to, yeah, and then you could have a drop down here. All right. Now I'm going to swing around so you can see the yard. So here's one side of the yard. You've got your spigot for your hose right over here. I want to point out in the backyard, we had talked about sloping. So whenever a builder builds a house, they should have an engineer design or handle the grading of the soil so that the water, if there was a lot of rain, it slopes away from your house. So in this example, you can see the house and you can see that the land from the foundation slopes away from the house. And that's so if there's heavy rain, the water pools here and then it funnels out into the street. And you'll notice that in a lot of yards in Texas. I want to say every yard that's been current. They didn't do that in the past, and that's why you have some of these neighborhoods and some of these yards that would be flooding. So I'm going to take a look at this house again. Look at that. Very, very good size house. So same on the other side. You have the sloping away from the house. Notice also you have 2 AC units and then a gate, so you can store your trash and your recycling. But the 2 AC units is important because this is a single-story house. So the fact that it's a single-story house, yet you still have 2 AC units means you have one for the primary area and then another for the primary bedroom. So that's great. And I'm looking up at the top. So this does not have full gutters. A lot of builders are not putting gutters at all. So the fact that this has gutters in the front and the back is nice, but there's none on the side. But what they did is they put a splash guard here, so that way if it rains, you're not just pouring water directly into your AC. A couple other things I want to point out. You've got something called expansion joints here, and this is on almost every brick house in Texas. And it's just so as the heat and the humidity and everything, things start to swell, expand, and contract. And so there's actually a joint here and there's a joint there to allow your house to do so. Another thing, we have something called weep holes. So I want to point those out to you. And they're every so often in the brick. And so the purpose of these weep holes is if there's a lot of moisture in the air or it rains heavy or something like that, then you want to make sure that the brick has an opportunity to breathe, and it helps prevent mold and things like that from happening inside the walls of your house. Oh, I'm going to show you. The house has full irrigation. And this is a Perry home, by the way. So full irrigation, and then I think I saw it over on the side. I did right here. So I'm going to switch to this. So we have full irrigation, which is automated in the garage, but we also have this thing, and it's a rain sensor. And so that way, if for some you're watering the grass, or you have it scheduled to water the grass, and then it rains that day, well, that's okay, because that rain system, that sensor detects that there's going to be water, and it doesn't waste the water. You don't want to be watering your lawn while the sprinkler's running. That's just, while it's raining outside. That's just silly, right? So I think I've covered everything in the house. One more. I'm going to expand it again. There we go. Solid, solid, solid Perry home. In Bryson, I'm going to go out to the front so that you can see exactly what the neighborhood looks like. Give me just 2 seconds. Swing around right here. There we go. Over to the right. Over to the left. Here's our house. And I want to show you. So from this house, look, right here, you have a walking trail. So easy access to get into one of the nature trails that's built within the community. Also, depending on where you're from, you may or may not have seen this before, but we have these things called cluster mailboxes. And so instead of you having a mailbox in front of every individual house, you have a cluster mailbox right here where everybody goes and gets their mail. So the fact that that's close and the walking trail are close to the house are both a huge benefit. I think that's good. Let me know if you have any questions. Ian of Austin, take care.